I had a session with a client today, and there were some subtle epiphanies that I saw she was lit up by, and so I wanted to share those to help if they're useful for you, because I think it's an interesting case that many people can relate to, or may help seeing the credibility, you know, that hypnosis really deserves. So this woman is an occupational therapist, and I say that to bring to the table, she knows a lot of techniques. I mean, she serves her patients. She's taken 6 years of training, and for occupational therapists, they go through a lot of training for mental health, you know, so they know a lot of techniques. She knows so much, and hypnosis is less about what we know or how we see things, but it's what is being done with that information. You know, which story do we have, and how have we assimilated that story? That might not be the right words. I don't mean to complicate it. It's, you know, if you are a client of mine, then you'll know that I find any different way of explaining this, and if it's one-on-one, then it's the way that's most maybe appropriate or will interact, so it'll be accessible at least, because hypnosis is a very intangible and more relative thing. So let me just give you the story of this client. So this woman is coming to me because she's tried everything else, and that's so often the case of how people find their way into hypnosis sessions, is that, you know, for her particularly, medications didn't make the change, you know, and she now has not a physical reaction or aversion, or maybe we don't go too much into the story, but she tried it, it didn't work. CBT, you know, cognitive behavioral therapy, didn't work. The techniques that she supports clients or patients with didn't work for her. I'm not here to say that everyone should do hypnosis, but if you haven't found the change, you know, or the end state that you're achieving for, then consider hypnosis. And actually, we are already doing hypnosis even before working with a professional. And of course, you know, I teach other people how to do hypnosis for themselves, not only achieving the self-hypnotized, you know, trance state. That's a part of it, the trance talk, but there's a lot, you know, similar to, or let's say broader pictured than NLP, you know, which is branched off of psychology and hypnosis, and then psychology is branched off of hypnosis. So hypnosis is that word that we just never really have known what to do with, because there's not a one technique of hypnosis. So when we look at hypnosis as this philosophy that you are in a story, your conscious and subconscious needed some sort of context, then it can really help you. So this woman was coming in with a need that was, you know, very important and probably necessary for not just her, but for everyone. So her goal had not been achieved through even some of the alternative channels, acupuncture, herbs. I mean, she really was, I admire her willpower and discipline. She tried lifestyle changes. She was working with integrative health professionals, functional medicine. Everything has its place, okay? But hypnosis, let's get it to the first of the line, the first thing to try, because there's no negative side effect. And when you understand how to do this for yourself, it's very affordable. Or, you know, it's just a couple $100s to go and get hypnosis sessions. It's not a long-term need. So what we were doing in this woman's particular story, I was fishing through her context, her story, okay? And this is my, you know, individual process, just like every massage therapist might have their own different angle of approach. In hypnosis, my angle is to start with conversational hypnosis. So, you know, they've told me a little bit perhaps about what they need as their goal, but maybe not, which is fine. I would actually prefer to not have had too much discussion about their problem or their lack or their need, because it's best, in my opinion, to, you know, collapse that story in real time. And I don't want to vivify or revivify that sense of you have a problem, you have a problem. What is your problem? Tell me your problem. Why do you have this problem? It's really changing the story to you don't have a problem. You don't have a problem. There's no problem. And I don't mean to placate or sugarcoat, or it's not exclusively this power of positive thinking. What it is, you're presenting issues are the solution that you had landed on up until now. Obviously, you want a better solution. If you're binge eating, that was the solution for your subconscious. For what? I'm not sure. Maybe so that you weren't biting your nails off, or picking at your skin, or beating yourself up mentally with self-talk, or beating others up, with aggression. The issue isn't a problem, it is a solution. And when we can teach our mind to look at all these things as solutions, we immediately upshift. We immediately feel this flood of relief, like, oh wow, I was just trying to help myself, and good on me, because I was so successful that thing had become a pattern. Okay, so take that and put it in your back pocket, and let me start from the beginning. So this client that I had today, and the epiphany that we made was because she kept wanting to come in with this language of, I have a problem, but it's okay. This problem that I have, but it's not a big deal. It really wrecks my life, but I'm fine with it. Everybody has stuff, and so you can hear that kind of Jekyll and Hyde, where she had been so helped, in therapy, which I don't mean to dismiss therapy, but more to mean that therapy often can come at this angle of, oh, you have a problem, but that's okay, you're strong, you're resilient. Oh, this problem that you have, let's look in your past, and let's understand why, or justify, why you have this problem. So understand that if we come at it with that intention, we're looking for a solution to our problem. We've basically created a story where there is a problem. And I know that is the reality of a lot of people's stories, and I'm sorry that I am placating your reality, and I'm very welcome to having discussions about it, not debates. I don't need to prove to you or change your opinion. I don't need to, but will you be open-minded to consider hypnosis it's literally an opportunity for you to change your story. I don't need to dominate and change your story for you. You're actually the pilot of the story that you're leading. I could co-pilot you. I could help show you the autopilot button if you want some, relief, but you're always in control. And so if you're happy, or if you're good, I'm not here to, to anybody, I'm not here to debate hypnotism. I'm here to explore it and help everybody have access to the core equation of it, because it's been something we've done for hundreds, if not thousands of years, and still we are just as curious about it as ever. Or it's more just individual, and is it aloof like the mind? I don't know. My words were better in my head, when I was thinking through the day, and this client in particular, and then I thought I should make a quick video about it, but we'll see if it can come together at the end of the night, so that it makes sense for you. I just really thought it was so illuminating, this sense of epiphany that she had, because she's done so many therapies, and we were able to cut through both of those angles of where conventional therapy had gotten her, which was that you have a problem and it's okay, or let's understand, and dig through the cause of this problem, and that's the way that we're going to find the fix for it and eradicate it. Because what hypnosis
presents as an opportunity is to help your conscious and subconscious imagine reality, you know, which then would create the reality. The further with fervor you can imagine it, is what's reality like if there's no problems? You have no problems. This problem, poof, it's gone, or imagine it's gone. Or here, I've already administered the, you know, imaginary successful change. I mean, it's we really could go into the ideas of how hypnosis is storytelling through the imagination. I mean, I have a book, The Brilliance of Imagination, which will, I'll hope, give you a very to the point, usable perspective, and then, you know, not only the theory but the actual techniques, because I don't want to just talk about these things. I want to actually do them. We could talk about roller skating, we could learn about roller skating, we could think about roller skating, but the idea is to put the skates on, and then that's how you'll experience it here in 3D, and not just the 2D, the linear dimension of thinking. So think about what things could be like without any problems and just the solution. And the further you could think it, the more that becomes that three-dimensional and embodied feeling state. It changes your chemistry, and then it literally does. I mean, neuroplasticity, which is that, oh goodness, it's not a science, the process, or more just the label of a process that occurs, which is that the brain is malleable, the brain changes. I think about it like this. These neurons are always firing. It's a lightning storm, and neurons that fire together wire together, and so we get these neuroclusters, but we can eradicate, you know, neutralize cluster and patterns of, you know, beliefs or thinkings or feelings. We can change that. We can change our brain. We literally, we call this in, you know, hypnosis, some of the further states, although you can achieve a further state even ahead of some of these lighter states. We call hallucination, positive and negative hallucinations. We call those, you know, further states in hypnosis. So consider that you're always at some state of hypnosis. I mean, that at least is the way I consider it. In the industry, we all talk about it's self-hypnosis. It's never not self-hypnosis. So if you're always hypnotized and you are endlessly the one in charge of your hypnosis, then isn't it so exciting to recognize hypnosis isn't coming at problems with an attempt of, let's talk about it so that we can find the solutions for it. Instead, it's imagine and pretend, and right now, you know, in the context of subconscious, all of that's happened. You are in the solution. Explain that to me. Picture that with me, you know, describe it. I mean, the idea of, you know, if you're working with a hypnotist, and you're going to do that in a conversational hypnosis style, which is what was energizing me today to make this quick talk, which I hope comes out clear as far as followable. Sometimes I think about the thing that I'm doing when I'm working to explain this art and science, is that I'm taking ideas and I'm applying these ideas in sort of a math way. And so, you know, generally in math, right, we might add some ideas. I might want to subtract some ideas, but I just love math. And so I'm often multiplying and even dividing with ideas. So honestly, I don't mean to sort of teach it that way in any attempt of confusing you, nor making it feel as though I'm the one that has these answers and you must have them from or through me. Instead, I just think we should all be talking in our own ways about this, or studying this, which is a very good analogy to math, because all of us are maybe coming at math in a different way, but if you get what you need, then that's the purpose of the tool. So know that
that there is a tool out there just as profound as math and equally as universal, because everyone experiences hypnosis. Everyone can experience hypnosis, even to those sort of furthered states of analgesia, anesthesia, amnesia. They don't all start with A's, but the hallucinations, and not solely the stage antics of hypnotism, which are real, but also, dramatized. That would be the way we say that word, dramatized. Just trying to put extra syllables in there. Okay, I'm signing off. I'm going to make dinner. And for anyone out there, because I know this is an entirely social media that is, what does a hypnotist have for dinner? Well, tonight will have beautiful salmon with honey roasted whiskey. I had no bourbon, so I made a honey whiskey glaze, and I will have salad and Brussels sprouts, which is, in my opinion, tiny little salads. So delicious, nourishing, home comfortable meal, and that's a wrap. Thank you so much for following to the very end with me, Lauren Hall, and I am the owner of Modern Day Hypnosis, and so I am bringing these ancient techniques into a modern and accessible process. And so I have self-applied hypnosis techniques as something you can have just lifetime 24-hour access to these equations, so that you can use hypnosis not only on yourself, but apply it to others. And it's not anything that you'll have to learn through any sort of tenure. It's very simple to learn these techniques and equations, because I've even put them into lessons which are trances. And so I'll trance talk these lessons to you, so you can rest or relax while I'm teaching your subconscious how to understand that solution always was here, and we can release all of this drama about the problems. And the brain really loves the drama. The brain really loves solving problems. So the brain, if that's where we're coming from, will look for the problems. But here's our brain, here's our body, and the body's just bigger. And they say we use 10% of our mind. Here's 10%. Here's the 90%, from my neck to my toes. So let this thing take a step back and recognize that there's just actually no problem. And the better solution, the more pleasable solution, is coming to you, right? Or it's fueled and connected through you, and before you know it, which is usually, for the clients that I work with, the next couple of days, if not immediately, but sometimes I want to, permissively request that their expectations just take a pause, because that sort of, compare and even sometimes fear of change, can dominate the full scale of what I've seen be supported and shifted with people through the heightened suggestibility, of what we can achieve with focus exercises, which are an additional tactic of hypnosis. There's just so many tactics and techniques, and that's why I studied for more than a decade, and I cut out the fluff. I negated all of the really great branches of just different branding, so that you can have access to the full manual and the simplicity of applying these techniques, regardless of any idea of psychology or anything like that. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing fantastic, and I'll be back soon with more. Bye.